10 Healthy Lifestyle Tips for Adults.
1. Eat a variety of foods. For good well-being, we need in excess of 40 distinct supplements, and no single food can flexibly them all. It isn't about a solitary dinner, it is about a decent food decision after some time that will have any kind of effect. 2. A high-fat lunch could be trailed by a low-fat supper. About a large portion of the calories in our eating routine should originate from nourishments wealthy in sugars, for example, grains, rice, pasta, potatoes, and bread. It is a smart thought to incorporate in any event one of these at each feast. Whole grain nourishments, as whole grain bread, pasta, and oats, will build our fiber admission. After an enormous meat partition at supper, maybe fish ought to be the following day's decision? 3. Base your diet on plenty of foods rich in carbohydrates. Fats are significant for acceptable well-being and legitimate working of the body. Notwithstanding, a lot of it can adversely influence our weight and cardiovascular well-being. Various types of fats have distinctive well-being impacts, and a portion of these tips could assist us with keeping the parity right. We should confine the utilization of aggregate and soaked fats, frequently originating from nourishments of creature beginning, and totally stay away from trans fats. Perusing the names assists with distinguishing the sources. Eating fish 2 to 3 times each week, with in any event 1 serving of sleek fish, will add to our correct admission of unsaturated fats. When cooking, we should bubble, steam or prepare, instead of singing, expel the greasy piece of meat, utilize vegetable oils. 4. Replace saturated with unsaturated fat. Leafy foods are among the most significant nourishments for giving us enough nutrients, minerals, and fiber. We should attempt to eat in any event 5 servings per day. For instance, a glass of new organic product juice at breakfast, maybe an apple and a bit of watermelon as bites, and a decent segment of various vegetables at every dinner.
5. Enjoy plenty of fruits and vegetables. A high salt admission can bring about hypertension, and increment the danger of cardiovascular sickness. There are various approaches to diminish salt in the eating regimen. When shopping, we could pick items with lower sodium content. When cooking, salt can be subbed with flavors, expanding the assortment of flavors and tastes. When eating, it encourages not to have salt at the table, or possibly not to include salt before tasting. Sugar gives pleasantness and an alluring taste, however sweet nourishments and beverages are wealthy in vitality, and are best appreciated with some restraint, as an intermittent treat. We could utilize natural products rather, even to improve our nourishments and beverages. 6. Reduce salt and sugar intake. Eating an assortment of nourishments, consistently, and in the perfect sums is the best equation for a sound eating routine. Skipping suppers, particularly breakfast, can prompt crazy appetite, frequently bringing about vulnerable gorging. Nibbling between suppers can help control hunger, however eating ought not supplant appropriate dinners. For snacks, we could pick yogurt, a bunch of new or dried natural products or vegetables, like carrot sticks, unsalted nuts, or maybe some bread with cheddar. Focusing on portion size will help us not to devour a lot of calories, and will permit us to eat all the nourishments we appreciate, without wiping out any. Cooking the perfect sum makes it simpler to not gorge. Some sensible serving sizes are, 100 g of meat, 1 medium bit of organic product, a large portion of a cup of crude pasta. Utilizing littler plates assists with littler servings. Bundled nourishments, with calorie estimes on the pack, could help partition control. In the case of eating out, we could impart a segment to a companion. Eat regularly, control the portion size. 7. Drink plenty of fluids. Grown UPS need to drink in any event 1.5 liters of liquid daily. Or on the other hand more if it's hot or they are genuinely dynamic. Water is the best source, obviously, and we can utilize tap or mineral water, shining or non-shimmering, plain, or enhanced. Organic product juices, tea, sodas, milk and different beverages, would all be able to be alright, now and again. 8. Maintain a healthy body weight. The correct load for every us relies upon factors like our sexual orientation, stature, age, and qualities. Being influenced by weight and overweight expands the dangers of a wide scope of ailments, including diabetes, heart infections, and malignant growth. Abundance muscle to fat ratio originates from eating more than we need. The additional calories can emerge out of any caloric supplement, protein, fat, sugar, or liquor, yet fat is the most thought wellspring of vitality. Physical movement causes us burn through the effort, and causes us to feel great. The message is sensibly basic: in the event that we are putting on weight, we have to eat less and be increasingly dynamic. 9. Get on the move, make it a habit. Physical movement is significant for individuals of all weight reaches and well-being conditions. It causes us consume off the additional calories, it is useful for the heart and circulatory framework, it keeps up or expands our bulk, it encourages us center, and improves in general well-being prosperity. We don't need to be top competitors to jump moving. 150 minutes out of every 7-day stretch of moderate physical action is exhorted, and it can without much of a stretch become some portion of our day-by-day schedule. We as a whole could utilize the steps rather than the lift. Take a stroll during midday breaks, and stretch in our workplaces in the middle. Set aside a few minutes for a family end-of-the-week action. 10. Start now. And keep changing gradually. Continuous changes in our way of life are simpler to keep up than significant changes presented at the same time. For 3 days, we could record the nourishments and beverages we expend for the duration of the day, and make a note of the measure of development we made. It won't be hard to spot where we could improve. Skipping breakfast? A little bowl of muesli, a bit of bread or organic product, could help gradually bring it into our daily practice. 2. Scarcely any foods grown from the ground. To begin with, we can present one additional piece a day. Most love nourishments high in fat. Dispensing with them suddenly could fire back, and make us come back to the old propensities. We can pick low-fat alternatives rather, eat them less as often as possible, and in littler parts. Too little action? Utilizing the steps every day could be an incredible first move.